Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how I make a bentonite clay mask. This is a mask that if like the seasons are changing, then I will put it on my skin and let it sit for like no more than 5 minutes, usually about 3 minutes. I don't let it dry all the way because bentonite clay is a little too harsh for my skin, so I don't let it sit on there for too long. But it's a very powerful clay. It's the most effective clay, but it's also not as nice to sensitive skin. So I put it on, I usually leave it on for about 3 to 5 minutes. And I will use it sometimes in the morning and in the evening if I'm getting like a massive amount of blackheads and my skin is just not happy from the seasons changing, is usually when that happens. And I also like to keep this just on hand to use maybe once a week or every other week, and or whenever I need it, because I'll use it to put on a big old zit when I have one, and I'll leave it on there overnight to help draw out all the stuff in my zits. Usually, well, it's always considerably reduced the next morning. And I'll also put it on bug bites. Sometimes I'll put it on bee stings. It's a multi-purpose kind of thing that I use. The recipe is filtered water and bentonite clay. You can also use rose clay, which is the most gentle, the gentlest of all the clays is the rose clay. You can use that if you have really sensitive skin. Also, red clay red clay and green clay are both not as harsh as the bentonite clay. So, oh, there's also white clay too. So you can use any of those. They all work. It's just bentonite clay really pulls things out. But if you don't need to really pull things out, then I do suggest you use one of the other clays. I usually use bentonite clay because I like to have it on hand for putting on massive zits or putting on bug bites and things. Also, I like to use the powdered bentonite clay, like, not mixed with water, as I just put it on the roots of my hair for a, what is it called? Dry shampoo. So I'll use that sometimes, which is a good thing to use. Like, you could use white clay and stuff, or you can use other things. But if you tend to get eczema or any like weird scalp problems, I recommend that you use a clay-based powder shampoo instead of a one that's based with like cornstarch or something, because that's a starch and it's sugars and it could make the problem worse. Or it could keep the problem going, could feed whatever is going on with your scalp. So I don't have problems like that, but I also don't want to have problems like that, so I like to use a clay instead. If you have darker hair, it might not work as well for you because it might show up more. There are ones for people with darker hair that they add like minerals to it or whatever, I don't know. So now that we're completely off topic, let's go make this thing. Okay, so first I'm going to be using a little jar. This is just like a baby food jar that has this, reusable jar that has a snap-on lid. I'm going to use a plastic fork. Well, this isn't plastic, it's like a biodegradable plastic. And I have some warm water too. So I use non-metal things because there's something to do with the clay and metal. It makes it towards not as potent sometimes or something. It probably doesn't really matter, but I don't know. I just do this anyways. And I'm using filtered water because you don't want to be putting like any junk in your mask that you're going to be putting on your face. You know what I mean? And I'm also using warm water because it just makes it work a little better, I find. And I'm just going to mix it in slowly, adding some in bit by bit. You can use a whisk for this too. I'm just using my fork because I am. So, there. Other things you can add to this are like, if you wanted to, you could add some oils or some sort of like a face cream or something to make it more hydrating, and which is actually really nice because then it's not going to dry and be so harsh on your skin. So I actually like to do that sometimes. You can also add charcoal to this, or here. So it's almost done. Wait, there we go. It's like, this is kind of a consistency that works to spread on your face just fine. But I'm going to add a little bit more water to this because I like to make it have more water to it, so that way it doesn't dry out as fast. You can also add things like powdered chamomile or calendula or little just things like that. Like this morning I used one with helichrysum in it. I want to add those to this mask. I would add those, like I put some of this in my hand and then mix it up with the powder, or with the herbs whenever I'm going to go to use it. You can also add essential oils to it if you want to. That's another thing that I usually just customize. If I feel like putting it in there or not, I'll do when I'm putting the mask on. But like, this is just kind of my base, and then I add whatever to it. But if you're going to be mixing this with some sort of like base cream or like oils, then I would mix this directly with that and not have any water with it. But you can make your base to, or like, you know, your basic mask where it's this and like the charcoal. You can also mix different clays together as well, which works just fine and dandy. So that's the consistency that I'm looking for. It is a little lumpy still, but as I spread that on my face, it's going to come out just fine. This isn't like a fancy mask for me to feel fancy. This is a mask to get things done. So that's the basic recipe. If you want to make any changes, then feel free to do so. It's your thing. But if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask them in the comment section. And if you have any comments, like you've been working on these, doing masks and things, and you've been having a good experience or negative experience, please do post, and so we can have a friendly chat. And if you have a favorite recipe you want to share on your favorite kind of mask, then please do share that as well. I'm always like, I like to make my own masks all the time. Like my favorite one is like yogurt and honey. That's such a nice mask. And I mean, there's just so many really good ones. If you like this video and you want to see more, I post really frequently lately. I'm going to be posting even more frequently. So I usually post about twice a week, but I'm going to probably be posting more just because I have a lot more things that I'm going to be doing. So like I'm redoing my kitchen table right now, and we're working on doing garden beds and stuff outside, and just lots of different kinds of things. Also, if you're interested in seeing things like natural living and stuff, I'm a health coach, and I like to post some health coaching videos, and I also like to post natural living videos. Like my last video was on making your own glass cleaner because it's really cheap and really easy, and it works really good. Sometimes I post my favorite natural products, and sometimes I review things. Anyways, if you're just interested in any of that, I've been posting lots of plant videos lately too. So anyways, I hope you guys have a really great day. Bye. His hair is bothering me.